Hello.
Hi.
We're doing the logic model response thing video. Okay, so Justin did how teachers should be paid more,
Their
and
salaries are pretty small.
yeah, I I totally agree. My mom's a teacher, and she works pretty hard, so I don't think she gets enough credit or get paid enough for it. So I definitely think that that is an act that should be
I agree. I don't know how it compares to other salaries, but I know that teachers a lot of times they have to spend their own money on supplies and stuff, and the students definitely are not grateful for the work they do, and they have to deal with a lot of angry parents and disrespectful kids and things like that. And
True.
mainly the reason they joined is just like to try to better society and the future generation. So they're really passionate about what they do, and they put in quite a lot of work.
yeah.
But they do get summers off, so it's,
That is a good point. I wish my future career got summers off.
And one main thing that made me make the PowerPoint in the beginning is that I noticed that garbage men, people who just drive around in a truck, pick up your garbage every morning, whatever the schedule is, they get paid more than teachers by $10,000 to $12,000 a year. And I think that's ridiculous because they're working a very remedial job that requires not much skill other than what they're taught about probably a day, while teachers who will have to go to college for 4 years and have to go through a teaching college and learn all these skills only make $10,000 less than the person that didn't have to go to college at all. And that's kind of unfair to society and to teachers and to the kids.
Agree.
totes.
And now we'll talk about Kelby's project. So,
Mine was about how elephants are hunted for their ivory, and I don't think that the laws in place do a good job of helping to stop these activities, and they might even be a little counterproductive.
yeah,
I mean, who doesn't love a good elephant, you know? I just think it's one of those things that why kill an animal for the benefit, such a small benefit? I mean, they're still a living creature. I just don't think they do it in the right manner either. It's more like slaughtering them rather than let it happen in a peaceful way or wait till they die themselves.
Yeah, and most animals in Africa are actually hunted for their tusks, not just elephants, which is sad enough, but also endangered species such as black rhinos, white rhinos. There are less than 30,000, I think I read in sixth grade or something, left in Africa, and that's a while ago I read that. So who knows how much are even left there now. But their tusks are just taken away, sold for not even a huge profit, and then they're left to die in the wilds. And if you're a rhino, you're now defenseless, as well as an elephant. You're not going to really be able to shake off a lion if you have no tusks to defend yourself.
Yeah.
So it's
That's a good point.
messed up.
Yeah, I was originally going to do it on or try to do it about all endangered species that are hunted and captured in Africa, like the wildcat trade, but figured I needed to narrow it down. And honestly, I don't have I don't have any problem with people hunting and stuff. It's just the responsibility of it and the fact that we can pressure animals into extinction. I think is pretty rough. So
Yeah, I agree.
So now we'll talk about Molly's.
I chose to talk about the assumptions people have with Greek life and how that can kind of change through people being open-minded about things we do, and just kind of getting to know the people around them rather than just assuming them based off of movies or media or things that can be talked about so lowly without knowing the real details behind them.
Yeah, speaking of media for different sororities, her sorority actually was just chastised on the news about taking selfies at a baseball game just because they're girls and they don't have to pay attention and they just got to take a picture of their food or whatever. But that's assuming that no women at all, or no men at all, take pictures at a baseball game or do anything like related to not watching the actual sport, because baseball is kind of boring in my opinion, and honestly you kind of want like your friends to know that this is the experience you're going through right now. And I think it's unfair that they picked on this group of people for just taking a picture, and that like kind of made a negative image for sororities, because they're already thought of being like these girls that like don't know anything and just go places and just take pictures of things, which is obviously not true because they're in college for a reason. But it's unfair to them and unfair to sororities around the world that these people just picked on them for no reason.
Yeah, I agree. And also, like, the fact that the label, like, sorority girls instead of just, like, group of girls, because it implies that women who are in a sorority tend to be, like, more, I guess, like, materialistic or lightheaded or just, like, the typical type of girl, I suppose. Or, like, you know, people assume when they hear frat guy that they imagine like popped collars and you know, all polos and boat shoes and things like that. And when I first came to college, I didn't even know what like Greek life was. I'd never heard of it. I'm not like not many people from my high school go to college or anything like that. And so I definitely just like believed all the stereotypes and things that people think like, oh, it's just an excuse to get together and party, like they ostracize everyone else and, you know, just pay for their friends, blah, blah, blah. And then my best friend ended up joining one. And so, like, it kind of gave me a more, like, personal connection towards it, seeing how, like, not everyone fits into that stereotype. And, you know, it really can, like, people's perspectives can totally change once they start to learn a little bit more about it. But yeah, a lot of the preconceived notions just do come from media, or a lot of stories in the news only report about the negative aspects of a lot of these organizations. And yeah.
Yeah, and even the negative thing about the baseball game, after all that negativity they received, they ended up donating the tickets to a charity and also like starting like a fund for that charity. And it just shows like how much stereotypes can be really, really untrue, because after receiving like hypocrisy from these random announcers who probably didn't have to work very hard for their job, they ended up donating the tickets to a better cause. And that just shows you like how much a sorority person is a dumb, mean person is not true.
I think we just got the opportunity to kind of seize the moment in changing people's perspectives in that little manner, just being able to show them who we really are and what we really care about. And I don't know, changing people's perspectives so quickly is a big part of social media. I think it can either turn negative or be turned into a positive, and I think we just got the opportunity to make it positive. But yeah, I think that completes our logic model
Remember,
discussion.
if it's not elephant, it's irrelevant.
There you go.
There you go.